and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Tanya. I'm an integrative health coach. I do weekly videos on health, fitness, and nutrition. If you're into that, then definitely subscribe and click the notification bell down below so that you're notified every time I post a new video. Today I'm showing you my Paleo Grocery Haul essentials. So if you are someone that gets a little bit overwhelmed in the grocery store because of the million aisles and you do not know what to eat, then definitely give this video a thumbs up. That just lets me know that you are excited for this video and that it is helpful content for you. If you are not familiar with the paleo diet, essentially it includes foods that could be hunted or gathered. So things like fresh fruits, vegetables, animal protein like some meat, poultry, seafood, nuts and seeds, and then it excludes things like dairy and products from agriculture like grains, legumes, beans, and some sugar. So this diet is actually naturally gluten and dairy free, and that is how I eat most of the time to feel my best. Some people may find the paleo diet very complicated. I actually find it super simple. So what I really like about the diet is that you don't have to go through every single aisle of the grocery store. You can just stick to the perimeter, grab your fresh fruits and vegetables, your animal protein, your healthy fats in the form of oils and nuts and seeds, and that's it, easy peasy. So let's get right into it. Again, if you are excited for this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Alright, so let's start with the most important, your fruits and vegetables. First up, I have some greens. So I like to get them already all washed and chopped up in containers like this. Sometimes I get it straight from the farmer's market as well, so I just grab it, like you just have big bins, and I grab them, put them in my own containers. This one's from the store, and this is just a spring mix. I like to try to get different combinations if possible. It's just different nutrient profile. But what I do with this is I always add it to my Nourish bowls that I have for lunch pretty much every day. So I just make that the base, and also great for like side salads with my dinner. And then if I was making smoothies, it's getting into the winter months. I'm not making smoothies just as much now, but you could also toss that in a smoothie. Next up we have asparagus. So asparagus is one of my favorite vegetables. I have it as a side very frequently. So things like salmon and like chicken thighs, usually I will want asparagus as a side. It's really good. You can toss it on the barbecue or just make it in the oven or on the stovetop. All the options are there. Next up I got broccoli and cauliflower. So this is fresh broccoli. I usually like to steam this and then add a little bit of like grass-fed butter or some ghee, or just put it in the oven and roast it. And here I have cauliflower rice, so sometimes I'll grab cauliflower fresh as well, but this has been my favorite. It's just ready to go. It's already rice, and I do use it in a lot of like side dishes. So anything I'm making that usually I would want some rice on the side, I'm just substituting with this stuff. Celery and carrots. So these are really good to add into like sauces, soups, that kind of stuff. I add both of these in my paleo bolognese. I just recently made an amazing chicken zoodle soup, and I add, again, celery and carrots in there. So I pretty much always have them in the fridge just to add a little bit, like, I guess, like crunch or texture to meals. Another good pair is some cucumbers, so you don't have to do mini cucumbers. I like mini cucumbers because I feel like they double up as snacks, like I'd rather stack on this, but also you can just chop them up and put them in your Nourish bowl. So I pretty much always put cucumbers and cherry tomatoes in my Nourish bowl. So yeah, like this bowl will last me the week. These are just organic cherry tomatoes. So yeah. Alright, sweet potatoes. So I put this in everything, whether it's like chopped up sometimes in my breakfast when I want some carbs in my breakfast, like when I do my hashes. I'll roast them and put them in my Nourish bowls or have them as a side. Also, sweet potato mash is so good. You just chop it up, steam them, and then mash them up. Add a little bit of grass-fed butter again, some ghee, whatever you want. You don't have to add that. I really like it though. But yeah, this is by far my favorite source of carbs on the paleo diet. So I haven't mentioned a lot of fruits, it's been more vegetables, and honestly that's kind of how I shop. The majority of like my fruits and vegetables are actually vegetables. I don't eat a ton of fruit, but I do love berries. So I'll alternate between raspberries, blueberries, strawberries. Right now I'm loving blueberries. You can get them fresh at the farmer's market and they're awesome. But I also always have frozen berries or frozen fruit on hand for smoothies. Yeah, that's pretty much it for smoothies. So here this is just a superfood blend. So yeah, these are great to have on hand. Another one of my favorite fruit is frozen bananas. Again, this is so good for smoothies or even just like frozen desserts. So yeah, you can just chop them up. I usually like chop them up in thirds, put them in a little Ziploc and freeze them so they're there whenever you need them. Another staple every time I go to the grocery store is onions and garlic. These are just great to add in pretty much any dish to add some flavor. So yellow onion and garlic I'll add in pretty much like all my sauces, my stir fries, everything I'm cooking on like the stove top. I feel like I'm pretty much adding this. Red onion, I like it in like more like fresher foods like salads. I also added in my Mexican egg scramble, which I posted in one of my last videos. That was my top 3 breakfast recipes. So good. So yeah, those 3 right here I always purchase. Alright, moving on to my favorite animal protein sources. So chicken is something that I usually purchase, whether it's in the form of chicken breast or chicken thigh, usually makes the list. I really like chicken breast when it comes to like my Nourish bowl, so I love tossing it in the crock pot and doing a shredded chicken. It's just super easy to add to my Nourish bowls. But I really like chicken thighs for dinner. You can put them on the barbecue, in the oven, stovetop, super easy to make. And honestly, if you've never had chicken thighs, you really have to try them out because I just ate chicken breast for the longest time, and then I had these and I'm like, oh my god, they taste, not gonna lie, they taste just better than chicken breast. They're a little bit higher in fat, but again, for some reason I still really like chicken breast in my Nourish bowls. Another one of my favorites is grass-fed ground beef. I always get this from the market. That's why some of my meat is in like Tupperware containers. So yeah, this ground beef I'll either, especially in the winter time, I think it's great for making like bolognese, chilies, you can make some burgers, so many options. Just toss in something to add that extra protein, and there, you know, ground beef, grass-fed ground beef is actually full of nutrients as well. I'll often pick up either ground chicken or ground turkey as well. Those 2 I really like just cooking it up and then having it in the fridge to add in my egg scrambles in the morning when I'm really hungry, and it just fills me up a bit more because of the extra protein. Another one of my favorite is the salmon fillets. So those are really great for just a quick dinner because salmon takes like no time to cook. So yeah, usually I'll have fish at least once or twice a week. So yeah, it's almost always in the form of salmon. Canned fish is also an amazing option that is super affordable. So here I have the sardines. I don't mind sardines at all. And then I got some tuna and some salmon. I love making tuna and salmon salad. So one of those, like a full can with some avocado oil and mayo, some celery, red onion, super delicious, super creamy, and really filling. And then of course we have eggs. I love eggs. They're just such a convenient source of protein. Of course they're great for breakfast, but they're also a great snack. You can hard boil them, and this is why I have them in a bowl right now, because these are all hard boiled. I like doing that at the beginning of the week, and then I just have these in the fridge all week long when I need an extra snack. Okay, so those are my main sources of animal protein, so let's move on to healthy fats. So I have 4 types of oils and fats that I like to add to my meals. I'm going to go through those. My first one here is extra virgin olive oil. So that's just a classic, you can't go wrong with it. I don't cook a ton with it. Sometimes I do like putting some vegetables in. If I'm like baking them, I just like the taste of that better. But most of the time I'm having it in like a salad. But I used to always put olive oil in my salad as a dressing. But lately I've switched that to avocado oil. So avocado oil, I started using that a few years ago and I fell in love. I just love the nutty taste of it. It tastes so good in salad. So that's usually my go-to for my dressing in my Nourish bowls. So this is just 100% pure avocado oil. And then I have my 2 favorite cooking fats. So coconut oil is absolutely great. I'll cook with it, and then also for treats. So if you want to do like fat bombs or just a lot of the desserts I make, I use coconut oil on them. And then we have a ghee. If you've never heard of ghee, it's butter that's been clarified. So that means the milk solids have been removed from the actual butter. So if you are lactose intolerant or just dairy sensitive and you can't do like a grass-fed butter, then definitely try ghee. You may be able to tolerate this one better. I really like it. I'm not gonna lie, I still kind of like the taste of butter better than ghee, but I tend to use both of them. All right, more fats because we love fats over here. So here I have avocado. Who isn't obsessed with avocado these days? But I add it to my breakfast on the side, always in my Nourish bowls, and then I'll have it for dinner if I'm having like a side salad, and then I'll put it in there. But always have avocados as part of my grocery haul every single week. Other sources of fats are nuts and seeds. So I don't always buy those every week, but when I buy them in bulk. So I always have them in my pantry. So I felt like it was worth mentioning. So here I have some chia seeds. They're great just to sprinkle on pretty much anything and everything, add in smoothies. I always have some kind of nut in these jars. Here I have some walnuts. I also really like almonds. Macadamia nuts are amazing. So yeah, and then pumpkin seeds have been my current favorite. I always add them to my Nourish bowl. So yeah, again, these three, there's just a ton of options. Honestly, just pick whatever you like best. Okay, so those are my favorite fats. So let's move on to kind of like baking items. So these are not necessary, but I do use them on a weekly basis, so I figured I'd show them. First up, we have almond milk. Almond milk is a great alternative to cow's milk, so if you're avoiding dairy, I really like almond milk. There's a few options out there when it comes to nut milks, but it seems like I should always go back to almond, and I always get the unsweetened version and the vanilla flavored most of the time. When it comes to alternative flours that you can find in pretty much all grocery stores, I use almond flour and coconut flour. They both have different texture, so I usually use one or the other or a combination of both depending on what I'm making. But yeah, I just have them in jars like this. I do keep them in the fridge because almond flour, coconut flour are prone to oxidation and can go bad. I just keep them in the fridge and they stay fresh. When it comes to a sweetener, if I'm baking something, then usually I'm adding some raw honey, maple syrup, or coconut sugar. But I really like raw honey because it just has a lot of nutritional value to it if it's raw. So if you're just buying honey at the grocery store that's been pasteurized, unfortunately most of the good stuff, the enzymes and all that, has been destroyed by the pasteurization process. But yeah, raw honey, got this from the farmer's market. If you have access to a farmer's market, I'm sure you can get something there that would be local. Okay, I have two more things that I want to talk to you guys about, and I'm not sure what category they're in. I guess it's just flavor / health. The first one is kimchi. So if you follow me on Instagram, it's just at the Fit Health Coach. You will see that I eat this on the regular. It is a fermented food, so I really love incorporating fermented foods into my diet because it's so good for gut health. So this is my absolute favorite brand. If you can find it, Cabbage Patch Kimchi. I get it at the market and it's so good. And then I got some herbs and spices. So here I got some fresh herbs, some dried ones. I love having some fresh parsley and cilantro on hand. Cilantro is great for some guacamole, or again, I always add it into my Mexican egg scramble, and it's just makes the meal. So I have it. I used to always avoid fresh herbs because I don't have any herb gardens, and then I would get them fresh and they would just go bad super fast. But I started doing this. I would just put it in a mason jar with a little bit of water, and they stay fresh much longer. And then of course the dried versions are also equally as good. I always have some, in the pantry. I love the brands Simply Organic and then Primal Palette. So yeah, I have a lot of the Simply Organic ones, and I'll have all the classic, your garlic powder, paprika, some herb mix. And then I recently got this taco seasoning from Primal Palette, and it is so good. It's just, yes, you could whip up a taco seasoning yourself, but this is just nice and convenient. Here we have some almond butter. Yes, this is a full kilo of almond butter. That's how much I use it. But again, really great for some baked goods or just having it as a dip. So you can have it with some celery, some carrots. Really good alternative to peanut butter. If you're doing a strict paleo diet and you want to cut peanut butter out, then I highly recommend this. Or lately I've been loving cashew butter, so definitely try those too. So these were all of my Paleo Grocery Haul essentials. You're going to be able to find most of these in your local grocery store, but if you are not able to find certain items like maybe the ghee and maybe some of the baking items, you should be able to find them on Natura Market. I highly recommend them. They have some of the best prices I've seen, and I actually have a link in the description box that will give you $10 off your first order with them. Again, I absolutely love them. I order from them not on a weekly basis, but pretty close. So definitely check them out if you're interested. I will also have a full grocery list of everything I just mentioned down below. So you can either go to the grocery store and grab all of this at once if you're doing a full like pantry, fridge, kitchen makeover, or you can also just print it, put it on your fridge, and it serves as a like inspiration on how to like shop for healthy food. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. My next video will be part 2 of this video, and I'm going to be showing you my Paleo Grocery Haul extras. So these are going to be the foods that I don't buy on a regular basis, but they are really, really nice to have once in a while, especially if you're new to the paleo diet and you're craving certain foods that are not paleo, like, I don't know, tortilla chips, pancakes, crackers, you know, all the good stuff. There are options out there for us paleo people, so definitely stay tuned for that video. I'm really curious to see if we have a similar grocery haul, so definitely let me know down below what are some of your favorite essentials, and if it's anything new, then I'd love to hear it because I am always looking to add new foods into my diet. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single minute you spend with me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye! First one is extra olive oil.
Always add extra olive oil.
She extra.